Okay, we're moving right along to the hair. I'm going to be continuing on with our little Happy Days image from Crafty Sentiments Designs. And we've already done her skin. And now I'm going to be coloring her hair a brown combination with the E51, E53, E57, E59. I'm going to jump right on into that. Starting with my lightest, the E51. And we established that our light source is coming in from the right. So I'm going to continue thinking in terms of that right-handed light source when I start laying down color for the hair, mapping out kind of where my darkest areas are going to be at first. So everything on this side of her body is going to have a lot more light hitting it than, say, this side over here, the bangs and the curls back here behind her head. And I always try to, when I'm doing hair, color in the direction of how it would be growing out of the scalp, to kind of follow that. And this is just a quick map out of my light and dark areas. She's got a big ponytail over here. And then some more hair on this side. Put some darker tones down there. Okay. Now I'm going to the E53. Right over top the 51. Just kind of feather stroke the color right over top. Continuing to darken up the kind of where the curls curve away from the light, the little dips and bends in her hair as it flows down. And there's a lot of freedom in this. I mean, there's no real right or wrong place. I'm kind of deciding as I go where I want, how I want the hair to be kind of bending and curving. And some of the lines give you an indication, but there's a lot of open space in here that's open for interpretation, I guess. So E57 is my next color, and it's quite a big jump. I skipped the E55 mostly because the E55, I use it, and I use it in certain combinations, but it does, I don't know, it goes a little weird for me. Not on, but it doesn't seem to blend into the color family, into the E50s. I don't know, it creates a different look than what I wanted to go for on her. So I'm going to be just going from the 57 to the 53 and doing a little bit more blending to avoid, I don't know, I guess the E55, I find it almost creates a gray cast to the combination that I wanted to avoid. And I don't know what it is, but I've just always noticed it. And sometimes it works fine in a combination, but I wanted to, this is kind of an experiment for me on her, how it's going to look avoiding the E55. See if I can get away with it or not. So we'll be finding out together. So I'm just, again, just even less than before, touching in the kind of darker shadowed areas, working around the flowers in her hair and whatnot. Okay. That's looking pretty good. And instead of going to my E59, I'm saving that, and I'm going to go back down while my 57 is still kind of wet and blend. We'll see how this goes. Because I'm going for, you know, a medium tone brunette on her. But without the ashiness that the E55 seems to lend itself to. Okay. I'm going to go work back and forth, so I'm going to my E57 again. So while that's still wet, I'm going to create a part here because that just seems like a little awkward space in her hair. And back to my 53. I actually think what I'm going to do is take, you could do this on a plastic block, clear block, but since, see how messy my cap is, I will take my lighter marker and pick up the darker color on it, and we'll blend this way. That should work nicely. Ah, there we go. There, we're getting it, and I'm cleaning up my cap in the process. So it's a win-win. There we go. Much better. And that's just going to lay our darker color in and fade as I color back into that 53. Give us a nice smooth blend from one to the other. There, we're getting it. Okay, I'm happy with this. So I think this is going to work. Okay, so I'm just going to keep picking up color, you know, with the darker there. Start in my darker areas and color out, blending into that 53. And here where it's darker, get that. And then let it fade up into the 53 there. Oh, this is looking nice. So we'll just keep picking up a little bit of the 57. Pull that up here. Still leaving some white spaces for contrast. I'll take my E51 in at the end. So we do still want some lighter areas than the 53. So I'm going to leave those white for now. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then I just use a scratch piece until it goes back to normal. Just like that. Okay, so now I've got back to just the E57 by itself. So now that I've got that blended a bit, I'm going to keep adding in my high contrast areas. which would be here where her bangs are kind of growing out of her head. And I hit the ends of them. And then back here where the shadow is cast by her face as it grows out here. So just reinforcing all these little dips and bends that we've created. And this is where you decide how dark or light you want her hair to be. The darker the brown, of course, the more of this 57 and 59 we'll add. The lighter mid-range tone brunette you want her to be a little bit more sparing with the darker tones. So we got that in. And now just a hint of the E59, just using the very tip of the pen and just going right over that 57. Okay. And then just down there. Okay. One more time, taking my E53 and picking up some of the E57. Just to do one final blend through. Give her a nice walnutty brown hair color. Just keep picking up a little bit of the darker to get a smoother blend out. I don't know if I'm getting that in the camera or not. Okay. Can't forget this up here, because the sun's not really hitting this side of the ponytail where it's away. It's this side over here that's a lot brighter. Okay, so got that. And then just finishing it off with the E51, just in these lightest areas. And you could leave, you know, this is where you decide how much white you want to leave. This one I'm filling in the white with the 51. It's a very light brown, so it's going to give me enough contrast as it is. Okay. Okay. So there we've got her kind of walnutty brown hair. And I am going to take, after this is dried a little bit, the E59, my darkest, and I'm just going to add in some lowlights. This is totally optional, but I like to kind of sweep some of that darker tone through the lightest area, you know, from the darkest through the lightest, to just give the hair a little bit more contrast And I'll just follow any lines that are already provided in the image, and if there's not, there's nothing wrong with adding in your own wherever you want. Just kind of with the tip of your pen, just quick little flicks. Okay, oh, can't forget this over here. And this little tricky where it's pooling up around her shoulder. Let's see where I want that. Could do this. There we go. That's working. Okay. I'll get some over here. She's got a lot of hair going on, but I think we're getting it. Okay. And you just decide when you've got enough dark. There we go. Okay. I think that's good. I'm going to hit a little shadow where these roses are because I know they'll be darkening things up there. But other than that, that looks pretty good. Okay. So, I've experimented with, pretty happy with those results. And now I'm going to, where are we at? Let's see, 17. Yep. We'll quit this one and we'll pick up and we'll finish her off by coloring in the dress in roses. And then we'll have her done and we'll create the card. So come back for that one. Thanks for watching. Bye.